What it do, flight crew? FTC. Flight team, stand up! Hey, man, this has been requested. This will never happen again by Jimmy High Roller. Let's check it out.
This is modern day high school, and these are the Ball brothers. You may have heard of them before. And this was a high school game back in the year of 2016. One of the most prolific high school sports programs in the country, coming off of a national championship just 2 seasons prior against a public school with a 14-year-old starting at shooting guard. 8 D1 recruits against a team with only 1 senior and virtually no basketball history to show for. 4 years ago, this was one of the most hyped matchups in the country. But, I forgot to mention one part. Yeah. Your eyes do not deceive you. This was the actual score of this game.
Damn.
At halftime, somehow,
man, only having
these 3
15
brothers
points.
and their 2 friends absolutely walked one of the best teams in the entire country. And this was just one of
Best
35
teams?
wins Chino Hills piled up that season.
They don't even look like they can
With
touch the net.
no losses. But let's take it back real quick, because as great as Lonzo was, as much potential as LaMelo displayed, and as dominant as Chino Hills was, this was never supposed to happen.
But it did.
On November 30th, 2015, Chino Hills played the first game of their season. And you could say it was a pretty solid debut, beating San Bernardino High School by 89 points. See,
Damn.
the Ball brothers weren't making national headlines just because they were pretty good, or because they were 3 brothers committed to UCLA, or because their father was absolutely goated.
What
They
the
were
fuck
grabbing
is he
national
doing?
attention because they were really, really good. The hype they were getting was completely warranted. In the 2015-2016 season, their starting 5 consisted of Lonzo, LiAngelo, LaMelo, Onyeka Okongwu, and Eli Scott. And this might as well have been the entire team, because no one else even sniffed playing time for virtually the entire season. On paper, this looks like a solid squad, but nothing that shouts best high school team in the country. They were starting only 1 senior and 2 freshmen. How could this team possibly run the table and come
Damn,
out
that's
as
such
much
the extra other ones out.
Well, the closer
Damn,
you look,
that's fucked up.
the more clear the answer to that question becomes.
Damn, it's a
Of course,
foul.
Lonzo went on to be the 2nd overall pick in the 2017 NBA draft, and over the last 2.5 seasons has shown glimpses of having all-star potential. He
But he's
was
not all-star
the
yet.
engine to this Chino Hills team. He was arguably the best player in the
Whoa,
country
that's what he was looking like in high
2016, and without him, we would have never even heard of the Ball brothers. Then there's LaMelo, who should have been an 8th grader but reclassified to play with his brothers. We
Damn.
all saw the potential there, but as a 5'8", 14-year-old, I don't think anyone could have predicted that just 4 years later he would be slated to go 3rd overall in the NBA draft.
Bro, we could go to the Warriors.
Quietly holding down the paint, cleaning up everything that came his way, was this unassuming 15-year-old. Unless you follow Chino Hills closely, you've probably never even heard of this kid. 6'8", freshman center Onyeka Okongwu, who finished his high school career as the 20th best recruit in the entire country, has put up 17, 9, and 3 on 60% shooting this season at USC, and is projected to go 13th overall
That's what's up.
in this year's NBA
That's what's up.
draft. That makes potentially 3 NBA lottery picks on the same public high school team.
Wow.
Then there's LiAngelo, who has never gotten the same love as his brothers, but what most forget to mention is that LiAngelo was the leading scorer of this team. When in
Really?
doubt, give it to Jello, and he'll get you a bucket. He averaged 28 points a game on the best team in the country in
No way.
2016 and was the 8th leading scorer in the nation with 34
I mean, it's
points
high
a game
school,
in
though.
his senior season.
I ain't gonna lie, out
Last but
of
certainly
all
not-
the Ball brothers, I'll definitely drop LiAngelo Ball off. With his player build, it's more built like for a football player.
and he'll get you a bucket. He averaged 20
Yeah, I'll drop
points
him
a
all
game
1v1.
on the
He'll
best
probably
team
put up
in
like
the
a good
country
6 or 7 though.
2016 and was the 8th leading scorer in the nation with 34 points a game in his senior season. And last but certainly not least was Eli Scott, a guy who I always thought of as the Draymond Green of Chino Hills. Now, I know that sounds bad, but I'm not talking about 2020 triple single Draymond Green. I'm talking about spark plug glue guy, heart of the team, all-star Draymond Green. The two least regarded players on the team, and they were both still top 50 in the country at their positions. And with these 5 players, and only these 5 players, Chino Hills had one of the most historic runs in high school basketball history. In fact, of all the teams I have ever watched, of the hours and hours of high school film I've broken down, I have never seen a more complete, cohesive, and dominant team. 2016 Chino Hills was the best high school basketball team I have ever seen.
Really?
Sounds crazy, I know. But you don't have to take my word for it.
I disagree. One thing I can't say and give credit to where it's due. Just from watching the documentary, I have to disagree with them. The St. Vincent St. Mary's high school team with LeBron James. Come on, real hoopers know what I'm talking about. I have to name the whole starting 5 lineup, I think. LeBron, Drew Joyce, Romeo, Travis, I think. I forgot the other 2. You know what I'm saying? But I seen a documentary. That's this St. Vincent St. Mary back in the day, bro. The 03 team, they will wax this team, bro. Come on, let's be real, bro.
Look at the receipts. Throughout their national championship run, Chino Hills went 35-0, being the only public school in the last decade to win a national title. In those 35 wins, Chino Hills won by an average margin of 30 points.
Damn.
But these boys weren't just whooping up on some garbage teams. On their path to winning those 35 games, they went through 5 of the top 30 teams in the country and 11 of the top 100 teams in the country.
Wow.
Foothills Christian was ranked as the 29th best team in the United States, and Chino Hills mopped the floor with them 3 times that season.
You said
they
mop the
also
floor.
beat 6th ranked Bishop Montgomery twice. Almost half of their games were against top 100 ranked teams, and they never lost.
Wow.
Among the numerous L's they handed out that year, one of them was to Montverde Academy, the 7th ranked team in the country with 2 future NBA players in RJ Barrett and Anthony Simmons.
I've never heard of either of those
This is a future NBA
Must
player.
not be doing great. Still in the NBA?
Is a 14-year-old. Bruh.
A 14-year-old doing that? Hell no.
13th best team in the country. They beat 20th ranked Sierra Canyon with future NBA player Marvin Bagley.
I've never heard of that dude either.
29th ranked Foothills Christian with future
player still in the
NBA player
NBA?
TJ Leaf.
TJ Leaf,
They beat the best
never
team
heard of
in
him.
Nevada Bishop Gorman with Zach Collins.
Never heard of
They
him
beat
either.
the best team in North Carolina with Bam Adebayo.
I heard of
and
him.
They beat the best team in New York at the time, Jefferson High School. Do you want me to keep going? Yeah. I think y'all get the point. With 2 freshmen and only 1 senior playing, Chino Hills beat the brakes off of every single team they faced. They were literally unstoppable. 3 brothers, 2 close friends, and a public school with limited resources somehow climbed the ranks and topped every other team in the country. This is a feat that we will more than likely never see again. But before capping off their season as national champions, Chino Hills had to face off against arguably the most prolific, proven, and deadly squads in high school basketball, Modern Day. In the previous season, the Modern Day Monarchs finished
remember
as the
the
14th best team
St.
in the country,
Vincent,
and
that
2
one
seasons
team.
prior had won the national championship. Led by Spencer Friedman, a player that has personally snatched my ankles.
Really, bro? Bro, that dude is a casual, bro. No offense to Jimmy High Roller, you're a casual too. I'll drop you off 101, but bro, this dude right here? Bro, let me play, bro.
Personally snatched my ankles.
Bro, I'm not taking a guy like this seriously with a basketball in his hand, let alone on a team. No way, basic dribbles, bro. You hear the cameraman?
The Chino Hills Modern Day matchup was said to be one of the premier games of the season.
It's like the 2K
Modern Day
people in the
was
game chat,
stacked. They were blowing teams out by 40 points every other game. With 8 D1 recruits, this was going to be a battle. A private school with a prestigious sports history against a public school with a loud bald guy behind their bench. The line to get into the gym wrapped around the block, everyone eagerly awaiting the matchup of the year. Man, this is going to be a
Who ended up winning? Damn. Wow.
Huh. Well,
Damn.
Are you sure about that?
in what would later be recognized
That's
as the best
sad,
game the Ball brothers
bro.
ever played, Chino Hills absolutely ran Modern Day out of the gym. By the end of the first quarter, Chino Hills was up by 27, and by the fourth quarter, they were ahead by 51 points. Look at this. LaMelo, damn near a foot shorter than anyone from Modern Day, drops a dime to my man Eli Scott, and Eli viciously packs one while Modern Day stands idly by.
He wants to be
praying the
Draymond
Mercy
Green,
rule
though.
comes into effect and puts them out of their misery. Which it virtually did, since the refs had to implement a running clock to stop the game from getting any more out of hand than it already was.
Imagine the score
Modern
being
Day's
like
coach,
that.
the most winningest high school basketball coach in the history of California, said that he had never saw a running clock in his 34-year career. Well, that's because he had never played against the Ball brothers.
I mean,
But
look at
wait.
his team, bro. Like, bro, this cannot be these high school teams these days, bro. What?
Clock in his 34-year career.
Bro, like,
Well,
I'm not
that's
talking about
because
the,
he had never played against the Ball
the
brothers.
Chino Hills. I'm talking
But
about the
wait,
modern day team,
that's
bro.
not even the best part. Them boys started celebrating.
Like, bro, don't make me
in
look
the
like a
middle
mainstream
of
superstar
the
if I
game,
play for their team,
acting
bro.
real goofy right there on the court. Didn't even have the decency to call a timeout. Just said, "Fuck it, we up 50. Let him have a bucket." I'm sick to my stomach. And to make matters worse, Chino Hills was beating Modern Day so bad that while the game was going on, they were trying to think of plays to keep the crowd excited.
Imagine paying that much and
I
going in here.
cannot fathom a more disrespectful way to win a basketball game. Dog, this is just rude. But that's how
They
the
suck.
majority
It's
of
not
Chino
rude.
Hills games
Get
went
your
back
skills
in
up.
2016. A lot of blowouts, a lot of hurt egos, and many, many highlights. I don't think we've ever seen a high school team with as much hype and attention ever. And rightfully so. What the Ball brothers did was unheard of. It was exciting. I know
It'll
this
be done
because
again, though.
LeVar Ball has aggressively
High school's
reminded us
competition
for
is
the
a
past
lot
4
easier,
years.
so.
But how could you blame him? His boys, along with their childhood friends, made it through the gauntlet and came out the other side completely unscathed. Yet, for as much notoriety as they have received, the 92-point game, the UCLA incident, the Lonzo saga, their own reality TV show, which, by the way, is still airing. Somehow,
That's lit,
the
yo.
historic 2015,
At least they profited off everything. That's dope.
season has gotten
You know,
lost
back then in the
shuffle.
early 2000s and
So here's your
below,
reminder.
they wouldn't have been able to
Back
do
in
that. It's just like once
2016,
their season's done, it's done
previously
with.
unknown group of
That's
kids
dope that
grabbed the
they
world's attention, knocked
they went
off
into,
the best teams in the country, and
talk
for
about
4
after.
short months had us all tuned in to watch the most exciting show in basketball. Hope you all enjoyed. LeVar Ball's the GOAT, and until next time.
Hey man, I just want to cap it off right there. What was I saying, by the way? Because I wanted to let him finish off. It's pretty dope though. The dad is definitely a dope ass businessman. He definitely, like I said, he profited off their skill because it's like you can't take I think like money and shit like that from the NCAA rules and everything like that when it comes to the athletes. So it's just like, okay, they want to make this scummy ass rule. You want us to be out here putting our lives on the line, but you don't want to let us get paid. I'm going to find a way to start my own way to get paid, and that's what he did. They started out with merch and shoes first, and then now they got the reality show, and then now most of them are going to end up going into the NBA. That's dope, though.